for presenting a memorial plaque to commemorate the resilience of the community during the time of the COVID pandemic. Once we refurbished, it will probably be given pride of place in the chamber, I suspect. Okay. First off, 1, to receive and accept apologies for absence, which is going to be quite a long list. Turn the sound up, otherwise it's going to confuse us. Thank you. Right, try again.
Tina Cadell, James Wooler, Stan and Sue Heaven, Chris Moore and Keith Gilbert.
Thank you. Number 2, to note declaration of members' personal, prejudicial and disclosable pecuniary interests in respect of items on the agenda. Any declarations? Yes, Catherine.
Just reference to the Museum for Walton as our trustee.
Thank you. Nobody else? Fine. Point 3, minutes. Point 3.1, to confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 12th of October 2021 are true and accurate record. Everybody's seen them? Anybody got anything they want to raise? Yes, Pat. She's not on the attendance or the absence.
Or the absence.
Are we looking at?
Oh, no, yeah, sorry. I was looking at the one before. Sorry.
Right, sorted. No further comments? No, no. So point 3.2, to receive an update on items from the previous meeting, if not agenda items for this meeting. That's all been sent out to everybody. Got any updates to give, Jane?
The only thing possibly is that Alan Wright has now got in touch with me. We did think about asking him to attend a meeting to talk about possibilities of flagpole outside the clock tower. He's happy to attend a virtual meeting, so I'll just set that up and hope several of you can make it. Okay.
Sounds like a plan. So we go on to point 4, reports. 4.1, chairman's report. My list of activities, the 14th of October 2021, chaired the neighbourhood plan meeting here. 7 o'clock that night I attended the Lockmeeting trustees meeting. 20th October 6 to 7:20 p.m. I attended the Future Breckland event held by Breckland Sports Centre. I was quite impressed that there was a good turnout. I didn't expect to see so many people. At 7:45 I chaired the Watton Society AGM. On Sunday the 24th, I took part in a clear up of tree felling carried out at Lockmeeting. I was supposed to go to a meeting today. Liz and Stan were meeting Bennett's down at the officers' mess site to talk about the drainage strategy. And unfortunately, my care package fell through, so I couldn't go. So I apologise for that. The vice chair's not here. There are no district councillors. There are no county councillors. Police report sent out usually with the pack, isn't it?
The only thing is to say then the next SNAP meeting is January the 6th, if everyone just sort of bears that in mind. Other than that.
And then 4.6, clerk's report.
Okay, I don't think I've got anything else to add other than what I've already sent out in the pack. Jane has now sent me through some responses to go back to Sam Chapman-Allen. So that's something we'll pick up on, Jane, I guess.
Yep.
If anyone else has got anything to add to that. But I've got nothing more unless anyone's got any questions on what I've put out.
I haven't got any questions. The 2 things that are still outstanding, which you're waiting for me to action, I haven't forgotten them. They are on my list to do. I started part of it, one of them today, and I will get the other one done by the end of the week. Okay. So point 5, to note the works. Oh, sorry, Pat.
Sorry, on item 4, the clerk's report, the hockey team at the sports centre, I understand what they're saying, that they've been saying for a long time that the AstroTurf is in bad condition. Do we know what financial position they're in now?
I haven't heard anything, any updates.
I mean, I know this is just a note, but I'm assuming they will follow it up with an ask for some money to help them. But if they're still in serious debt, then I'm not inclined to give them money, which would just pay off their debt. It wouldn't really help, would it?
Yeah, until we see something, I think that's an issue. And they did get the 106 money for the AstroTurf.
I know. Which they
So,
don't mention on
no.
here.
I think we'd have to see a proper application with the all full details that we'd need before we could make a view on that.
Yeah, it's just an observation.
Thanks, Pat.
I think it is of note that that weekend of the Queen's Jubilee, obviously the Sports Centre are planning something already, which might affect or influence what we do. That's worth thinking about.
We are talking about the beacons,
But there's anything we are going to do.
but maybe worth talking to them to see what they've got to say. Yes, Peter?
The other item on the clerk's report about the previous chair of the Watton Parish Council in New Zealand.
Yes.
Have you chased that one up?
I've got a card that we're sending, so Jane is going to write something in there and we will actually post a card.
Yeah, Jane said she thought it would be nicer than internet, and I totally agree. Yes, Beryl?
Can I just ask, was it Tina? Tina or the other one?
It was her daughter, but I don't know which one.
There's two of them. Can't remember what the other one's saying.
I don't remember it being Tina, so I'm going to say it was probably the other one.
Yeah, okay. Maybe Beryl could add something to it because she knew her.
If you'd like to, Beryl, I think that'd be lovely. I think that would be lovely. I've got the card here, so you can easily write something for her. Okay, thanks. So we go on to, we've done the clerk's report, we go on to note works in progress list. That's out in your pack again. Yes, Catherine?
Just to note, under item number 14 on the work in progress, the work on the heritage maps and so on. The Heritage Group did meet on the 29th of September. There is a report which perhaps, I don't know whether, Jane, should we send that out? I wasn't sure.
Could do that.
Yeah.
That would be good to share with everyone. Okay.
And so Sue has approached Adrian Talbot to actually design us a map. So that's in progress at the moment.
Thank you, Catherine. So we go on to 6, public participation. As there's nobody here, we'll move on. 7, finance. 7.1, to approve payments for September 2021 to follow. I believe that's been sent out since then and I've seen it. So is everybody happy with the payments?
Can I just add to that? I'm not sure if they were on the list or not. We have a training that the pet service booked, and that will be £60. And I know this is on the agenda for later on, but the traffic management and the insurance of their equipment for the fireworks event is 1,656 plus VAT. So we need to get that paid before the weekend. The buggy insurance is £58, and the insurance for the light towers is £33.60. So they weren't on your payments list, but I'm hoping you can all agree that we get them paid, please.
Yes, Catherine?
I think those were discussed at the group meeting about the fireworks. So some of the councillors have already discussed that. So could I move that we approve those as they need to be done?
Yes,
Very
the seconder.
quickly.
Thank you, Beryl. All in favour? Carried. So we go to 7.2, to agree purchase of radiators for the chamber at a cost of £2,819.85 plus VAT. Anybody got anything they want to raise? Are we all happy with it? Yes? Yes, Catherine?
I just went, I'm just writing some. We're talking about the radiators, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that council should be aware that this isn't an additional cost. This is within the 25,000 that we've agreed to support the project. So it's not something that's going to be on top of the 25,000. It's one of the costs within that.
That's a useful explanation. Thank you. Thanks for that. 7.3, to ratify the decision to purchase additional properties for display at the value of £200 and to make a donation of £300 to the Royal British Legion or appropriate service charity. I believe there have already been concerns raised about this. Has anybody got any comment they want to make? Yes, Peter.
Well, I don't think there's a problem with the £200 for the poppies.
Fine.
I think we should be looking for, having seen what Stan said about monies that are available within the British Legion. Could I suggest that the Mayor, in consultation with others, draw up a list of other charities that we could make a donation to that would help ex-servicemen, perhaps those who've got mental health problems, etc., in the locality, if there is anything in the locality, so that we can make a donation that way.
So you'd like to try and get it more local if we could? Do you want me to bring that back as an issue or will you give carte blanche?
You go ahead and do it.
Okay, thank you. Everyone happy with that? 8, to consider the application to Norfolk County Council's Parish Partnership Scheme, cost breakdown to follow.
I haven't had any costs from Norfolk County Council today. I did expect some today, that was what was said, but they haven't come through, so we just pass that to the next agenda, I think.
So we'll remit that to the next agenda. 9, to receive recommendations from the Lock Meeting Working Group meeting to be held, which was held on the 25th of November. We've already seen that, October, sorry. We've already seen all that, haven't we?
Should have had that come out
Yes.
today.
It did come just
Yeah.
earlier on.
And all it is, for members to understand, it's a memorandum of understanding, not a legal document as such, but having had the advice from the solicitors originally about who owned the embankment, etc., that the town council had purchased it and then gifted it to the Lock Meeting. What we've said is in that memorandum, the current council, can't say anything about future councils, will undertake tree surveys and undertake any work that's required for them at the council's expense. That's our contribution to them. But that will last until 2023, and then when the new council comes into being in 23, they can decide whether they want to adopt it or not. And I think we met with Phil from Lock Meeting, and he tells me the trustees are quite happy with that. If you're agreeable, that will be signed and then passed to the trustees of Lock Meeting for them to sign, and then that's an understanding between us how we're going to operate.
I would just say that Phil signed it on behalf of the lot because of me being a councillor and a lot trustee, so it seems clear up.
Okay, so everyone happy with that? Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. To receive update relating to fireworks event 2021, to include the suggestion that neighbouring parishes are asked to make a financial contribution. Anybody wish to speak on this? Well, don't ask, don't get. Yes, Don.
Can I just say, I was approached by people from Carbrook Parish Council wanting a donation towards the Millennium Green in Carbrook for all the dog walkers that go down there. My answer was, you can ask, if you ask, you don't get, sort of thing. I think the same applies to this, to be honest.
Yes, Pat.
Although in fairness, Carbrook Council do give us a donation.
They do most years, don't they? Yes. And they do also send people to help out.
So we should then approach Thompson and Merton, just write them a letter and say the fireworks are on and would they like to make a contribution?
Would you like?
And Sayham and who else?
If we just
Ovington,
go to
Norwich.
that adjoin,
Griston
you
and
mean?
Griston,
The neighbouring parishes that actually adjoin our boundaries.
anyone that touches our boundary. Yes, Catherine?
I think actually it can be done as a way of advertising the event as well, because it would be a nice gesture to say to them, don't forget that we're having this and your residents are invited. And by the way, would you like to contribute?
Yes, but we need to be quick.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
We can send it retrospect.
Okay, sorry. So we go on to planning. 11, to consult on planning applications received since the last meeting. Now, neither of these are actually planning applications. They're both 106 discharges. 11.1 30B 2021-0050 OB, discharge of planning obligation on 3PL 2018-09520. Schedule 3, para 3.1, 50% payment of Wayland Woods contribution. Schedule 5, para 3.1, payment of footpath contribution. Schedule 6, para 1.2, submission of travel plan to the County Council. Schedule para 6, para 1.3b, deposit of travel plan bond sum to the County Council. That's the land at Thetford Road. Now, I believe that will be Barrett's. Yes, there's Barrett's. There's not much we can say. The only thing, I can't remember whether we have an outstanding sum due from this one. Doesn't stick. Yes, 106 sums. You mean an executive decision contrary to the regulations? Okay, so I think that may be what we decided it should be spent on, but well, they can't do that, and then I by legislation that they can't. So, but that is all. Well, in the letter that I'm sending, as you've seen from my sort of knowledge, they will know we know. The next application we have, sorry, Pat. Well, basically, they've had to put a payment in to cover some costs of work at Wayland Wood. It's them putting in the money that they said they were going to put in as part of the 106 agreement. So once they've reached a certain stage of the development, certain parts of the 106 kick in, and they've now submitted all the details for that. As none of us have any of the knowledge of any of those details, I'm not so sure we can comment. So,
Well,
yes,
can't we
Catherine.
ask them?
Sorry,
Can't we ask them
what?
what it's about?
Well, we know what it's about. It says what it's about.
Not to me, it doesn't.
Well, the trigger point they wouldn't be submitting it if they hadn't hit their trigger point. Yeah. Yes, Catherine.
I assumed that the reference to Wayland Woods contribution is that the money they were going to give the trust, the Woodland Trust, over a 3-year period, which was, I think, intended to pay for a warden. I think that's what the intention was.
There was that, and then I mean the footpath contribution. It'd be interesting to see whether we actually get have we got a proper footpath up there? We haven't. So
One of the footpaths was to run next to what was known as the pony field,
yeah,
up to the top, to the north end of the field. That's one of the footpaths. There is a footpath that runs down to the entrance to their site, where they put the gate up. Remember, they asked putting planning permission for the gate they've already put
wooden
up.
gate, yeah.
But I don't think there's a footpath to continue round by the lagoons, if I can call them that. But it is the footpath that runs parallel with the pony field.
Okay. Yes, Keith.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there isn't a path that goes beyond that gate. And the path that runs along the side of the field is just like a muddy dirt track. It's a bit... Are they? Oh, right, okay. I was just an observation.
And then the travel plan to county council. I'm not sure what. I mean, I do know what a travel plan is, but I'm not sure that I'd understand what they'd need to submit to comply with that. And the deposit of a travel bond is a regular thing that they normally do. And again, that's a county council criteria. And I'm not sure I understand what their criteria on that is. But it's various things that mainly only officers can look at, I think, and judge them against the criteria that they've got. Anyone else got anything else to say on that one? Then we go on to another one. This is 11.2. 3 OB 2021-0048 OB. Application to discharge planning obligation schedule 1, clause 1, provision of affordable housing scheme approved under 3PL 2021-0032F, land north of Norwich Road, Watton. Does anyone know what site that is? Is that the little site? It's the top end of the little site, isn't it? I mean, the definition of affordable always amuses me. I don't know whether they think affordable to whom, but again, that's going to be another criteria that will be discussed by officers. And it isn't really anything we can have an input in at this stage. It's already been decided, isn't it? It's whether they think it's been fulfilled or not. Well, there's two ways. Either they'll have when they say to discharge it, that means they're complying with it. Because otherwise they'd be saying to amend it. So either they're providing land for affordable housing, or they're providing a space for affordable housing that fulfills the criteria set down in the local plan. Yes. And so there'll be, I don't know if they're not giving land. I think they're building them on it, aren't they? They are smaller ones, yes. It's always difficult to remember which one goes on which. Yes, Pat?
Does anyone know if anything has moved at all with the Lidl?
I've heard nothing. Anybody else heard anything? No. No. So on that basis, there's nothing we can comment on that one either. But I don't remember there being any funds outstanding for us on that one. There was no funding, was there? It was too small a development. Yeah. So there's only one we've got to chase up, and that's the previous one. See if we can have any money out of it. So that's it. So nothing else on. Yes, Beryl.
It's not on the agenda, but can I just ask Jane about the Christmas lights? Is Carl happy with fixings and everything?
We are moving forward with it, yes, and I think we're all going in the right way, Beryl, at the moment, yes. We have just met with, we haven't met with, but we've booked up to meet with the manager at the factory shop on Monday. She's been on holiday, so that's one snag we've still got to get over. But other than that, I think we'll have Carl back in the office soon. And yes, I think, fingers crossed, we're all looking okay for things, yeah.
Pat?
Junction box is above boot store, Pat, so that's quite critical to get at that.
Yes, Catherine.
Could I ask that we have a review of the traffic lights, not the traffic lights, the Christmas lights. We have a review of the Christmas lights. Don't know that it would be better on the first or the second meeting in January, but if we are going to get ourselves into a position of having a 3-year contract, I think we need to go as early as we can, but we need to have reviewed what happened this year first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Get it put on the agenda early next year. Okay. And on that basis, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
Jane, you can keep doing this.